Is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX Wheeling.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A Russian invasion of Ukraine remains distinctly possible. That's according to President Biden making that assessment, and he also says the U.S. is ready for that, and also urged Russian President Vladimir Putin to choose diplomacy. Russia now saying it's opened an investigation into claims of alleged mass graves of civilians supposedly killed by Ukrainian forces in Russian-controlled areas of the former Soviet Republic. ABC's Mary Alice Park says misinformation is the concern.
The international community is treating any new claims from Russia with incredible skepticism right now. And specifically, they are saying that this could have happened in those eastern regions of Ukraine where there's already a lot of Russian separatist control. And you have to remember that those are areas that have been under intense international scrutiny for the last few years, the subject of lots of international diplomacy and negotiation. So it's incredibly hard to imagine that there would be something like a mass grave in that region without the international community being aware of it.
As COVID cases continue to drop in the U.S. following the Omicron wave, states are issuing a variety of changes to mask mandates. That's leading to some more calls for federal health experts to clarify its guidance.
Mask mandates are mostly decided by states. Some are relaxing mask mandates, others keeping them in place. But federal guidance? CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says with cases falling.
We are assessing the most important factors based on where we are in the pandemic.
And says there will soon be additional guidance
that is relevant and encourages prevention measures when they are most needed to protect public health and our hospitals.
And she says if that guidance is updated, it will be based on data and science. Dave Packer, ABC News.
The Federal Reserve will release its minutes from last month's policy meeting. It could signal how soon the Fed might raise interest rates. That as investors try to navigate the pandemic-driven supply chain issues and tensions between Russia and Ukraine. You're listening to ABC News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
A judge has granted a temporary injunction of the release of any of Bob Saget's death records. The late comedian's family says making those records public would cause them pain and anguish and sued for that injunction, and it will remain in effect until a future court decision. Among the many effects, if Russia invades Ukraine, rising gas and oil prices. As Russia controls a significant portion of U.S. supply, the U.S. already seen substantial prices go up in some areas. Here's ABC's Rebecca Jarvis.
There's conversations on Capitol Hill that perhaps we would see a gas tax holiday, a national gas tax holiday. There are many utilities that have also been sending their customers notes in recent days because people have seen those heating and electric bills jumping as well as a result of this.
Prosecutors in Minneapolis asking a court to follow state guidelines when it sentences a former police officer for manslaughter.
Prosecutors have asked a court to sentence former police officer Kim Potter to 86 months in prison, or just over 7 years, for the death of Dante Wright, a black teenager whom she shot during a traffic stop in the Minneapolis suburb of Brooklyn Center last April. Potter had said she confused her gun for her taser. Prosecutors say a sentence of 7 years takes into account the seriousness of the loss of Wright's life, but also the recklessness of Potter's actions. Potter's attorneys will ask the court for leniency.
ABC's Mark Remillard. This is ABC News.
Exergen.